Welcome back to Booze and No Rocks, where we make cocktails for everyone. My name is David Edwards, and do blackberries and lemons go with whiskey? Let's find out. It's great to have every single one of you back here today. We are making a Blackberry Whisky Lemonade. Now this drink contains two of my favorite ingredients. That's blackberries and lemons, especially when they're fresh. You just can't go wrong with either of those flavors or that combination of them. Whiskey, however, is different because you have so many bottlings, so many expressions, agings, producers, all sorts of climate effects and barrel effects, and that changes all the flavors. But for this, we're using Crown Royal. Now, Crown Royal is a Canadian whiskey that was released in 1939 for the royal tour of King George VI and Queen Elizabeth, the first reigning monarchs of Canada. However, it stayed directly Canadian until the 60s. And in 64, it was the American whiskey import of choice and has stayed the most popular Canadian whiskey in the US since then. So that tells you it's pretty good, right? Absolutely. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna jam all this together into a cocktail and see how it turns out. So the first thing you need is your shaking glass. Now, normally at this point, I would hammer a heck of a lot of berries in there, but I made a blackberry syrup for this. And I'll explain how we made this. This syrup is actually 1 part water, 1 part sugar, and 1 part blackberries. So what you do is you heat it up until the water goes clear, then you continue to cook it until the color and the flavor is leached out of the blackberries, and then you turn the temperature down even more and let it simmer for another 5 minutes, pull it off, filter it, throw it in the fridge, and use it to your heart's content. For this, we need 1.5 ounces or 45 milliliters. The next thing you need is your whiskey of choice. In this case, I'm using Crown Royal. Love this stuff. You need 2 ounces or 60 milliliters. Ooh, yeah. Grab a couple of lemons because we need the same amount of lemons that we have towards whiskey. So you're gonna chop up 2 lemons, like so, and we'll give them a squeeze. I need 2 ounces or 60 milliliters of lemon. Oh, look at that. Put this off to the side. Now you're gonna need this. Get rid of these. Clean up your area. The next thing we're going to do now is we're gonna shake this for a good 10 to 15 seconds with some ice. And you wanna shake it hard, and in this case, we're just diluting it a little bit and cooling it down. Slap your lid on place, make sure you've got a nice tight seam, give it a flip, and shake it hard. Smack it open, and look at that color. Oh. Now you're gonna grab your glass of choice. In this case, I'm using a nice little beer glass. It's a 15-ounce glass. So when I add in the ice and the fact that we have about 8 ounces of fluid in here, it'll add up nicely. Yay! Yeah, put that back in there. Now remember, if you're serving it for friends, you might wanna, don't touch anything with your hands, but this is at home, your personal cocktail, and you can do what you want. Grab your club soda of choice, your soda water, whatever you wanna call it. And what we're gonna do is we're going to pour this in first so it keeps all the effervescence and we don't lose the bubbles. And we need 2 ounces of this or 60 milliliters. Oh, now what we're gonna do is we're going to we're going to fine strain our cocktail. Oh, look at the color. Look at that. Grab the lemon that you have left, that piece. What we're going to do is cut a small wheel. We're gonna cut that in half because we wanna keep that for our garnish. We're also gonna grab a blackberry and a pin, and we're just gonna take the pin, put it through the top of your blackberry like so, through the top of your lemon. Give this just a very small nip, and here you go. Look at that. A Blackberry Whisky Lemonade. Let's give it a smell, see how it tastes. smells really good. You immediately get the sense of the lemon, a little bit of the blackberry right there. You don't get a lot of the whiskey smell immediately. Let's give this a try. This is so good. Just a hint of tartness, just a hint of sweetness. The blackberry comes through and it marries really, really well with the whiskey. This is not a high ABV drink. It's beautiful and perfect for the back deck, hot weather, whatever. Oh yeah. And there's just enough bubbles. Oh yeah. What I am going to do is I'm going to put the ingredients and a method of how to make this down in the description down below. If you think we should use a different whiskey, please leave a comment down below. Whether we should use a different type of fruit for our syrups, our garnish, how would you adjust the levels of everything? Please, it's a great conversation. Drop that down there below as well. If this is your first time to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell notification. That way, every time we put up a new video, you will be notified. And if you'd like to help support the channel, please check us out at patreon.com/boozeontherocks, because every little bit helps us to bring these videos to you. You have a great afternoon. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just make a cocktail with it because I ran out of things to say.